Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some more Heavenly Delusion. Theta, we got any comments?
Nope.
Alright then. So let's go ahead and just talk real quick about what happened last time. We got The Test Begins. In heaven, Tokyo gives birth and the director discusses with Sawatari the possibility that the child and the two children may be able to resist the incurable disease which eventually affects all the children produced by Mina. As the director is in her 80s, she plans to have her brain transplanted into the much younger deputy director, Aoshima, to see her plans through to fruition. Meanwhile, in hell, Maru and Kiriko continue their journey in Juichi's van. At night, they see smoke in the distance and decide to investigate the next day. Back in heaven, Mihime befriends a lonely girl named Oma. However, when she removes Oma's sunglasses, Mimihime experiences a terrible nightmare. The children are later gathered together and informed that they will be undertaking a test that will require them to reach the outside of the outside in their role as Hiruko. And that is where we left off.
Well,
The
Griff,
rebellion
you
begins.
said last week that you had a bunch of thoughts that you wanted to go through. So why don't we start with you? What thoughts do
What
you have for us, Griff?
what I have planned, and I'll go ahead and say it here, and it'll come up when we get closer towards the end, is just trying to draw a line between all the kids we've seen and figure out where are they now? Did we see them? Do we know all their powers? Did their powers change over time? Kind of like a post-investigation of missing children here.
So
That's going to be my plan here.
like the web sort of thing that I did for Mercury.
Yeah, just a little bit. And if I don't do it, call me on the comments for being a loser. Anyway. I think that'll be fun. I think that's kind of I feel like we're gonna get some answers here for our mysteries overall, but like where the kids are, what happened to them, is not something I think the show is going to go out of its way to tell us exactly what happened. We might have to infer a couple at the end.
Well, I mean, I think we know what happened to all the kids that we do already know about.
hmm I don't think we can place every single one of them though.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is that we.
So that's what the exercise is gonna be for. Can we place every kid?
So your exercise is to identify all the kids that we don't know what happened to.
Exactly.
Right. So you're doing the harder version of what I've already done, which is identify what happened to the kids that we know what happened to.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go hard mode. I'm gonna go detective, and we'll see what we turn up.
So I guess that you're actually playing the cop in this aspect. Well, you're going
No,
down our missing.
freelance detective. That's
You're
what we
you're
are.
going down our missing persons list, whereas I've done the far lazier thing of going down the found persons list. Here's all the people I found. How many people are we missing? I don't know. I didn't make a list for that.
There you go. So Theta, you must have some thoughts here. Why don't you give us your thoughts?
As always, the shows that I am interested in the most, I have the most thoughts about. That's why we spent hours on for Mercury.
hmm
And I think this is like the second most. This is the second longest show that I have Theta's thoughts for specifically. I'm making a pause note here, only specifically because we spent a lot of more time talking like during Gundam Double O, but that's not because of the Theta thoughts. Those are just wickedly twisted things we spend talking a lot of time about.
Hey, if it gets us talking, it's all good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just those are just thoughts apropos of nothing and then the tangential
hmm
leanings. So they're not Theta's thoughts. More time, not thoughts.
So what tangential threads we got today?
First up, what if Robin isn't Robin, but himself is just someone from the original facility with a different brain? The
Ooh.
the doctor left at the same time as Robin, and Robin leaving seemed almost for no reason. Like it wasn't in his character to do so. Maybe he had someone else's mind put in to him by the doctor that left. When I say the doctor, I mean the other half of the picture. That what's her name
Right,
is.
right.
Sorry, what's his name? He's carrying around. And the new Robin left with the doctor, like it was some trek to find a suitable body.
I think in that context, the thing that would make the most sense is that the Doctor's brain is now in Robin's body.
No,
That
that
would,
doesn't make sense. Did you ever watch
and you would
Dragon?
put it in,
Did you ever
obviously,
watch? Yeah,
but
say you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Why, who
Doctor
hasn't?
Gero, Doctor Gero, how'd you put your brain in your body?
Science, that's how.
That's a good question. I never thought about it. You do this
The
surgery on yourself, and you're the leading expert on this. How did this happen?
you definitely don't have any assistants unless what was it? Android 19, I think? Yeah, unless like they were actually helping out. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just, so I don't think the doctor did it. Doctor didn't put his own brain into Robin's body. He would get halfway through that surgery and realize I'm dead.
Hmm. So what do you got next?
Also, I think they left together. Um,
Yeah,
Robin
yeah,
and
I
the
think that
doctor,
might yeah, so it's like, well, probably not then.
and I don't think that. Oh, anyway, yeah. So Robin may not be Robin is the point that I was getting at, which I would hopefully we find out today. Let's see what's next. The Heaven director's plan to be immortal reminds me of the Red Mars trilogy. Did you ever read that book series?
Nope, still haven't, but you have.
Yeah, Kim Stanley Robinson, highly recommend. Probably, yep. I would say my next one. Amazing book series, highly recommend. Good job, past me. Sometimes I write my thoughts out so that I'll read them in the way that I think that I would say them anyway. During the plan to terraform Mars, they effectively discover a way to regenerate cells through a treatment you get done every few years. It creates an almost immortality, except through the story you find out that the brain just can't handle existing for so long.
Hmm.
Stuff starts happening to memory and the like. It feels like the same flaw is built into the director's plan. She's going to keep changing bodies, but her brain is going to keep getting older.
Right. So I think like the most recent research on aging is that generally what happens to cells is like the telomeres, which are the things that like protect the end caps of like DNA, start to like dissolve over time. And so as you get replicated, you still get like the shorter and shorter telomeres until you start like being unable to replicate further cells. And then at that point your body starts failing and you die. That would be the natural causes aging, right?
Well, yeah,
So even
don't take my
yeah.
recap of the Mars trilogy as that what it
Oh,
was. It's a hard science
oh,
novel
I
series.
know.
Yeah,
I'm just starting with so given our current modern day understanding of aging, if you put your brain into a new body, your brain is still old and will eventually dissolve into genetic mush.
yeah. And like I said, in the Mars trilogy, they go over like the actual specifics of what they think is happening.
Hmm.
People are just, you know, dying, and it's like they're just not. And then like their memories start
Yeah,
going.
yours is more like an emotional death here. It's like I don't know what to do with 200 years of memory.
Well, yeah, yeah, they start up forgetting who they are and that sort of thing because
Hmm.
there is a cap on how much you can remember, and
Right.
they just start dying due to brain related stuff. And
Yeah.
our doctor here hasn't considered that her brain will get older. She's going for physical immortality and forgetting. Oh, that's right. That's part of a physical reality.
The show 100% has an opportunity to just throw us a total curveball with whatever's happening here, and it's going to be great.
Right. Next up is the director is the villain to all of humanity at this point. She's created a human experimentation facility to breed children with superpowers in order to create one that is immune to disease and doesn't age, just so she can put her own brain into it. On top of
Hmm.
that, this horror facility seems to create a virus that kills off most of humanity, and then the monsters that plague it afterwards. And yet it is called heaven, and the outside is called hell. No wonder delusion is in the name.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone's been a little tricked. I think like in that context, like you can definitely take a look at like the episodes we've seen where our two boys are together and they're just having a kind of nice life. Like we saw the people with the pot farm, they're pretty happy with their lot in life right now.
Yeah. Um, I think I might be more affected if I'd ever paid attention to any episode title before
Uh-huh.
it happened. Like, I know
Oh,
I know that you read the episode titles. I don't. I
yeah.
only read the episode title after when I'm uploading the episode
Hmm.
and I need to know what the episode title name was. Because otherwise, there's sometimes certain narratives you can find out about the show by the show titles as they come.
Yeah, that's true. There's supposed to be like slight hints about what's happening after all. You name a story after what's happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, like, God, when you put all the titles together, though, you get what the show's about sometimes. Or even just like
Mhm.
the last one, like Vinland Saga, the end of the prologue.
I wonder what's happening there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also imagine watching Vinland Saga season one with no hint of a season two coming, and
Mhm.
you reach the end, and the last episode's called the end of the prologue. What do you expect it to think? There is no Vinland Saga 2. There's no hint that there ever will be. We've just finished the prologue.
Yep, congratulations, you read the prequel.
All right. Next up, Mimihime, which means ear princess, by the way,
Makes
has
sense.
a phobia of sharp things, we find out, making her fate all the more gruesome as she's hooked up to all these tubes and getting cut up. At the very least, I guess, with her original eyes lost, she stopped having visions, all these horrific visions. And
Hmm.
since Shiro gave her one of his eyes, she could at least see the world without fear from this specific thing, anyways.
Huh. That's an interesting take. Would would that actually I don't know. It's entirely psychological, right? Or at least I've been thinking it's entirely psychological.
No,
This
because
is the
this is a
proposition that it's
facility with
visual.
powers, Griff. It's
Yeah.
not psychological. She's not making it up. This is her power.
Yeah, I know, but the power is a visual illusion or entirely mental is the question.
I would assume visual because she sees it,
Hmm.
and like the other girl that creates illusions, her eyes glow when it happens or something. So,
Yeah, and the way Mimihime like dismisses it later is like she's fully actively where she is. Like the scene doesn't cut away or anything. So yeah, no, it's interesting.
let's see, it's next. Kiriko's vision in the basement, being a representation of his fear, seems to allude to the fact that he got eaten by a man-eater before. You know, apropos
Hmm.
of him not being a woman before.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy to dismiss what we saw as just a hallucination. But it's actually kind of meta if you think about it. He wasn't just hallucinating an attack. The hallucination itself was recreating his greatest fear, which just happened to be what most man-eaters do by default. The fact that the monsters also had blades for mouths might be an additional fear about surgery given what took place after the original attack.
Hmm. Right. We already get the expression that it creates your greatest fears, and if you've already been through terrible bits of trauma where your body got completely dissolved and then you had brain surgery, I'm sure that leaves a little bit of a scar.
Well, yeah, it's very
Tiny bit.
it's very much a meta thing of what if I got attacked by a monster as a small child, and that
Uh-huh.
created a lifelong fear of getting attacked by monsters. If I then get attacked by a monster that makes me see my greatest fear, I'll just be see myself getting attacked by a monster, which is
Yeah,
what the monster is attacking me with. So it becomes a very meta fear.
we could be in circles here all day.
That's what I'm saying. It just so happens that I also saw within that context the fear of surgery, given that they've had
Oh.
this medical trauma thrown upon them as well.
We really could do Inception here. It's like we could say like I have a fear of illusions, and this is a monster that makes me see my greatest fear via illusion. So I see a monster, which creates my greatest fear of illusions via illusion.
Well, actually, I have one more
All the
rabbit
way
hole to
down.
go down that's actually related to this still.
Go for it.
If the hallucinations the monster gave are still Mimihime's power, the power to see things that will come to pass but not know when, then is it possible that we saw a possible future for Kiriko, specifically one where she loses a hand and a foot?
Hmm, possibly, but this would also mean that then Mimihime's vision of herself being cut up by random things from the wall will also come true, which we got like one episode to do it in.
No, it already happened, remember?
Uh,
We saw Mimihime die, if you don't recall.
but we didn't see her getting cut up. Is the actual
We
part of
saw
it.
the after effect of her getting cut up. You don't remember? She's missing all of her limbs.
Hmm.
Both of her actual eyes got cut out and got replaced by Shiro's eye.
Right. I guess the thing to keep in mind then that if it's true, then it's slightly more metaphorical than it is very specifically literal.
Right. That
Because
I. What did I just
yeah,
say though, Griff? Sorry, I don't actually mean to do that. What I said was that she'll lose an arm and a leg, not
yeah.
that a mouser from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is gonna come chomp them off. All I'm saying is that at some point she's gonna lose the body parts that she lost in the vision. Or I'm
But
saying that's a possibility.
but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover. Huh?
They
None?
didn't even have an arcade cabinet for it.
Yeah,
Remember
we need more mutagen for that.
remember when he goes to play in the arcade and he's playing some game? Not
Hmm.
one of those was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so
Gosh, you're right. All right, next up.
I don't know how topical that would be in an arcade these days, though. Haven't been to an arcade since I was, God, 99. I want to say I'm not when I was 99 of the year. I'm obviously saying it's 99.
I got a nearby arcade. It went through a redesign like not too long ago, like a couple years ago. Definitely not a single TMT cabinet in sight.
When I was 10, there was a mall within walking distance, but then again, I was 10, so was not allowed to walk to that mall. Um,
There you go.
and I want to say 99 was the last time I went to an actual mall,
Hmm.
and God, I think that was the one where I did the Lawnmower Man virtual reality experience, which was literally just like massive thing like
Oh
put on your
yeah,
head, and you could play the video game from Lawnmower Man, which was itself a VR game.
I gotta tell you that VR stuff looked absolutely sick. It looks awesome, but also it was ancient.
Yeah, it was
It
ancient,
is now, anyway.
and it was very poorly. I mean, but it was fun though, and it was also like I got virtual reality before most people, other people did. So
Pioneer Theta right here.
yeah, it was also they also had a holographic video game too that was ass. I mean, it was basically like what's the dragon something game with the princess? You have to go in and rescue the princess, and it's all hit this button at this very specific time.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Bluth was the one that made it. He's the one that makes cartoons. He also had a sequel game, which is about Space Ace or something like that. Well, fuck it, we'll
I
just
know
use
what you're
Space
talking
Ace.
about. I know
Space
which.
Ace is the same exact game. We'll just do Space Ace, where you have to like jump to the right at a very specific time.
Right, and now you're just doing that, but with a holographic image. Yeah.
Yeah, and with no prompt whatsoever. So it
Hmm.
literally just ate like a handful of quarters for no reason. I can't figure out how to play this fucking game. Anyway, last thought.
Okay.
I'm also kind of feeling like it might not be the AI covering for the kids, but actually Asura. The AI is doing this stuff kind of fumbles when you consider that the kids are getting hidden from the cameras, sure. But then why would the computer confirm Tokyo's footprint on the wall when scientist looks it up?
Hmm.
Is it wouldn't it try to hide that too if it's hiding the kids stuff? Versus the fact we keep getting shown Ghost Asura appearing after they've died.
Right. Like, I want to kind of believe the AI is doing it, but at the same time, the AI has not been much of a character. Like, our director has more character than our random AI does.
I guess I actually have one final thought after that.
Okay.
Given that I brought this up during Vinland Saga when I was saying Leaf was voiced by this and such, I've been
Hmm.
making a voice actor Hall of Fame specifically for shows that we've reacted to. So far, I've literally only gone over the characters from Witch from Mercury
Yeah.
for obvious reasons, and well, the other things that they've been in. Well, Mamiko. That's probably not how you say that. Now that I've said that out loud that way. Mamiko Noto. I'm sorry for calling you mommy. Well, you'll understand why in a second. Is the one who voices Asura here from Heavenly Delusion.
Hmm.
Also voices Prospera Mercury from Mercury.
She's causing problems again.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, can't blame this on Asura. Asura was just a kid growing up in the Heavenly Nightmare.
Right.
But yeah, I believe that's our only connection here in Heavenly Delusion. Yeah. Until I do a Heavenly Delusion one where I try and
Mhm.
find them. Yeah, I'll say pointedly also try to keep them. Let's see, I have a rule statement. Rules
Yeah.
must have been in at least 2 outstanding roles in 2 different shows that Stoneface Reactions have reacted to. Uh, Asterix. Outstanding refers to characters that have stood out in ways that made them highly enjoyable to watch. Not
Mhm.
like everybody can be outstanding if you just don't make a rule about it.
There you go then. So, let's go ahead and see what's about to happen. We're about to literally walk in on the facility. Anything could happen. We could get robots, we could get more superpowers, we could get anything.
Or we won't. Or this episode's entirely set in heaven.
Or we could get a boat.
Well, you remember we had the one episode where we never saw the heaven kids. It was all
Yeah.
the outside stuff. It's got to be a kickback at some point where we get a whole heaven episode with none of the outside stuff.
That's what we got last time. Let's see if we get another one. So,
No,
let's go ahead.
we had the outside kids last time.
Maybe only a tiny bit.
We don't remember the whole they go to this place, they see the smoke, we get a vision of Robin. There was
Right,
stuff
right.
that they did.
They were very tangential to the action. But let's go ahead and see what they get up to. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
あれズボンがないズボンが急がないとテストに遅れちゃう仕方ないあれパジャマのズボンもない
Maybe your pants are part of the test.
This test will encourage pantlessness amongst the kids. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, a legit date. Whatever the hell that meant, though.
皆さん外の外に行きたいですかじゃあ僕も行きたいそれではテストを始めます
Please don't be like a death match or something.
It's about to be.
I don't want to see these kids dead. They're so fun.
That's the tragedy.
変な夢み
I
たい
don't want it to be a tragedy, Griff.
あ髪短っあそういえば昨日切ってもらったんだったおはようございます天永18年7月26
I gotta figure out what Tene means.
日です夢で聞いたのと同じ日付だな
But
That
this time,
pillar
he's
seemed
still
like it
in
was
the-
falling over.
だってテストについてまだ何も分かってないし
おいおい、今日は時雄が戻ってくるんだぜ。
そうだねまた時代と一緒に遊べる危ない
え
危ない危ない危ない危ない危ない
Oh, did I call
Alright.
it? Was that pillar
Oh,
actually
yes.
falling over?
システムのほとんどが落ちてる。端末は生きてるみたいですから、こっちからなんとかならないですか。さっきから試してもらってるんだけどね。
アクセスに失敗しましたアクセスに失敗しましたアクセスに失敗しました危ないアクセスに失敗しました
Dude, you seem like in the worst place right now. If those are monsters. Oh, time for the Red Queen to show up from Resident Evil.
Yes, actually. Here they go. Well then.
Oh man, I didn't want anything. Well, here's the problem: is that we know bad things happen to these kids in the future, but I don't want anything bad to happen to these kids now. They're just. I could take an entire show just set in heaven, where it's just a mystery what happens. Like if you didn't include
Mhm.
the hell part of the outside world, like from just the kids' perspectives too, mind you, that there's a mystery going on here. You know, I think I'm just describing a different anime now that I've actually exists.
Well, I mean,
Promise
like, you hit it on it
Neverland.
pretty accurately. We have two different shows happening here concurrently is what's going on, right?
But they're
The two
connected.
shows are only connected in, like, theory.
Well, no, because we've met
Until
characters. No, we've met characters from there. We met Shiro and Mimihime,
Right.
specifically, and at least one other one.
But they're still different shows.
Well, I'm saying
we
I
could just
was-
isolate one half of it and still get an entirely complete experience.
I was saying you could probably take the heaven part of Heavenly Delusion and make a Promise Neverland out of it. I'll say I know the premise of Promise Neverland. Have not watched it, so if it's one of those shows you guys throw into the poll or whatever, there's that. But I'm just saying I would take that. They're enjoyable characters.
Yeah. Oh, we're back outside again.
Kind of be a Promise Neverland meets My Hero Academia.
おやここらへんなんだか食べ物の匂いがするお
Yeah, how did you not hear that?
マジかこりゃ市場だ集落
Good
とかいう
question.
レベルじゃないなんでこんなところに人が集まってんだ浅草レース場ぐらい栄えてるぞおい
Food grade meat.
せっかくだからこれ食べないお姉ちゃん
そうだな夢なら覚める前に何か食った方が得だすみません
Yeah, what did she just see?
おいあこの町で旧紙幣の取引をすると犯罪になるお客さんチップは持ってないの
チップ
この町独自の通貨滞在届さえ出せば一人5枚はもらえるよ
ただで
どこに行けばいい
復興賞
復興賞あるのか復興賞が
Look, anyone can name their place a
実在
ministry.
したのか
復興賞って何
聞いたことない神隠し人さらい陰謀系の
So
怪
it's
談とか
illegal to use paper money
技
now.
術者を集めて前文明を復興させようとしている団体だ
なら
Well, probably because they want to have something they have fully under their own control, right?
そうかもだけど実際に復興してるからな
そんな怪しい組織じゃなさそう
噂には尾ひれがつくもんだからな
Yeah, there's this other guy going around claiming to be the postman for the resurrected United States government.
Gosh, it's just like being at the DMV.
Trying to figure out the gender part of the forum. That's hilarious.
はい大丈夫ですこれがこの町の通貨です色など違うのは気にしないでくださいどれも同じです
これで飯食おう
あとこ
That's
ちら
not
は
ちょっと
confusing.
尋ねたいことが住民の顔を登録してるんだよねこの写真の顔知らないあとこれと同じ顔
あら
この方お名前は
稲崎ロビン
And he goes, nope, never seen him.
どういったご関係で？
いるのかロビンが。会わせてくれ。友達だ。家族だ。
一応聞いてみてもらえますか。
はーい。こちら復興省です。
They got full bones.
Yeah, that's what they said. They're building back up.
所長の写真をお持ちで、家族だと名字なしでキルコさんという女性です。
Oh, did he put his brain in someone else's body? So it's just some, like,
お願いします。
coma victim now?
伝えておきます。約束取れました。2時間後に
He was walking around last episode.
Maybe they just did it. I think maybe I've gotten my Theta Thoughts thing exactly backwards.
川の向こうのあれが第六化装置。高原学園茨城施設の場所で間違いない。
100% pure water.
2時間後の約束だと、今日はこの辺りに泊まりだな。なるほど。住処を借りるときは目立つ場所にこの札をつけると。つまり、これがかかってるところは住民が住んでるんだな。ここにしよう。
All these rules just to keep track of them.
文化だな。文明を感じる。人が集まるところには勝手に入って漁るのとは一段別の暮らしがある。これから人はこうどんどん一箇所に集まって資源を使い潰すより。
It's gonna be like a cool for you situation, but remember, I still got my own thing I'm dealing with.
Look, this apocalypse already makes way more sense than Fallout, where they don't even sweep the floors.
いいよ。一人で行きたいんだろ。
すまん。僕は君のガードだ。それに本来施設には君のために行くはずだったのに。
たまたまそこにずっと探してる男がいるかもしれないんだから、しょうがない。ちょっと先に施設の様子を見てきてよ。
He's taking this pretty well.
必ず戻るから待っててくれ。
And then she doesn't come back.
Well, I mean, considering he has a crush on him, and
Yeah.
he thinks that Robin might be the guy to take him away from him. There's a lot of him is in this sentence.
There's a lot of confusing relationships that will not get solved.
So I'm calling. He's gonna be in a coma or something. Fuck.
Still there.
Literally wrong the second after.
ロビン。
Maybe I was right the first time then. Maybe he's just brain transplanted already.
There he is.
Also, Robin hung out with the little boy, so...
Yeah, that's gonna be confusing to explain.
Unless he knew.
Meanwhile, back in heaven.
何が起きた？これが園長の言う雨のぬぼこなのか？
何事です。飛行機が落ちたのでは。私一瞬機影を見ました。これは高原への攻撃だ。早く建物の奥へ。私が帰ったタイミングを見計らったように。
Yeah, I don't want to see dead kids.
They're not dead yet.
どうってことない。おい、大丈夫か？僕たちも逃げよう。
Whole roof coming down.
I say that water didn't keep very well either.
Ne, ミチカたちの学年が一人もいないけど。
授業でプールにいるはず。
そうか。みんなプールに避難して。あそこが一番堅牢な気がする。ミミ姫は一緒に行かないの？僕ちょっと気になることがあるから調べてくる。
壁だろ。 ああ、壁に穴が開いてたな。
みんな気づいてたの？
一緒に行こう。
Well, someone should escort the tiny kids.
I think there's at least one taller person in that group. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Kona. Or Kona.
早く押すんですよ、早く。このやったなつめだ。
あんた走れるんかい。
Well, fair enough, though. That whole area got blown up.
どっちが誰やら分からんようになってしまった。
Fair enough.
一旦とりあえずひとまずシステムが復旧したら検査すればいい。よし。何が起きてるんです？
調査中です。
収まったかな。どういうことだよこりゃ。
何か爆発したのかな。
後で先生に聞いてみよう。
それより今は壁の穴だ。
You think maybe the technicians fucked something up?
ずっと気になってたんだ。
I got the feeling of that, maybe. But what's in the roof that's explosive?
Oh, this is the place.
待たせたな。
ロビンはここで何を。どうして今まで船山個人のみんなは。
まあ待て。ゆっくり話そうぜ。お互いわからないことだらけだ。
I really feel that you should start first.
にわかには信じられないな。キリコの体に春樹の頭が入ってるなんてよ。だがこうして話してると顔はキリコだが表情筋の使い方が春樹だ。春樹の顔してる。声はキリコだが喋り方や言葉遣いが春樹だ。なるほどな。頭をね。
I mean, my first thing would be like, hey, Robin, can you just do this for me?
迫田って医者のこと。あいつの居場所知ってるの？
いや、知らん。迫田を追って浅草を出たんだが見失っちまって。浅草に戻ったら船山個人が消えちまってるし、その後いろいろあって。
この前宇佐美に会ったよ。
おお、宇佐美の連れはまだ生きてるのか？
僕が会った時は生きてた。
あ。宇佐美のところで世話になってたのが2年くらい前で、その後ここ。
Oh, they were so close behind.
ここは何なの？
They were 2 years behind.
植物の研究の記録みたいなのがいっぱいあったけど。
察しがいいな。大災害の前にどうやら悪環境に強く食用に特化した遺伝子組み換え植物を作ってたらしい。見ろ。畑の残骸を整備してみたらニョキニョキ生えてきてよ。そしたら人が集まってきた。その集まってきた中にお前も見たろ。復興省の連中がいたんだ。それで急速に町になった。
Go figure the ruins of the child experimentation facility would turn out to be the savior of humanity.
施設が備えていた川の水をろ過する装置を手動で使えるようにしたからさ。復興省の連中が水を沸かすついでに発電できるようにしたんで、この施設の電気くらいはそれで賄ってる。冷えてきたな。
Hey, Robin, you talk like an old man and not like the Robin I knew.
まだ話が。
Oh, this is like a trap. I feel it.
5年分だからな。ゆっくりやろうや。
よし。
Why is every show this season full of tomatoes, by the way?
あ、耳姫。
What you got, kids?
シャワーは水の方を先に回旋してからお湯を少しずつ開けていけ。 お湯から先に出すとやけどするぞ。
分かった。
Thanks, Robin. Didn't know how
It's
hot
it-
and cold
やっ
worked.
ぱりすごい。
Well, no, it's like it's direct piping hot. It's just like, yeah, no, that sucks.
街を一つ。
I was pretty sure we all could figure out how a shower works.
みたいな街を作ってしまうんだから。
Fair enough. They were born after the disaster, I forgot.
怖かった。怖かった。もう大丈夫だ。もう。
You've still left your boy out there by himself. Speaking of,
お姉ちゃん、これなくて大丈夫かな？
Gosh, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop here.
すっごい。ドライヤーが2つもある。二丁拳銃だ。あれ。ロビン、服がない。
おお、部屋温めてるからそのまま来いよ。
yeah, clean yourself so we can do medical experiments.
Well, here we go. Maintenance side.
I'm gonna be pissed if our boy here walks up to those poor kids coming out of a hole and it was all going on at the same time.
That smile.
お前らを拾ってよかったと心から思うぜ。
Ooh.
I was trying to see what hit it because there was a skid there.
この外の壁の中にまた外があるじゃないか。
天井が高い。上に落っこちるかと思った。
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
not
call back.
quite. Say not quite agoraphobia. Wow, society really has returned.
いや、家で食うから。一人で食い切れるかな。
しばらく見ない間に随分育ったじゃねえか。
He keeps saying Robin, but I don't think it's Robin.
I don't think it is either.
ロビン、なんだよこれ。やめてよ。
何？ちょっとした実験をするのさ。この頭の中は誰なんだって？
だから僕だよ。
名前を言ってみろよ。
春樹だよ。
そうか。よし、鏡を見てみろ。俺とベッドの上にいるのは誰だ？あの女は誰だ？
What is going on with you?
姉ちゃん。
そうだ、大好きな姉ちゃんだな。他の男に抱かれそうになってるぞ。助けなくていいのか？
やめて。ロビン、なんでこんな。
You're torturing him via the dissociation he's already experiencing. And the weird cis-con thing he already had with his own sister.
ロビン。
Bite his nose off or
ダ
something.
メだ。俺じゃなくて鏡を見ろ、ハルキ。そこでこれから俺とお姉ちゃんがやることを見てろ。
Is the thing that Robin was just a piece of shit the whole time, and that was it? That's just it?
Could it be?
I feel like we're being set up that the Doctor was such a complex character. This just feels like, no, Robin was just a piece of shit.
Well, at least nothing bad happened to the kids, right?
That we know of. We don't know if the people in the pool drowned or not. Well, now I understand why people said there's a disappointing thing coming up.
Yeah, a little.
Well, apparently there's something that happens in this show that like goes wildly off track from the manga or something. Or I don't know, wildly off track, but like they made their own directorial choices.
Interesting. Well, we're gonna see what those are.
Well, there's only been one commenter that said as such, and unfortunately, due to the way we've reacted to this, unless you're a Patreon, or a patron rather, by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, we have finished the show. I mean, by all means, leave a comment below and tell us, because rather know than not know. But such a happy song for such a rape scene.
It's hard to like leave off on that note and like try to follow it up with anything.
Well,
right?
because it was worse than a rape scene, because it's a, hey, I'm raping your sister, you that's in the body of your sister. Now watch in this mirror as though you're watching through a window as I do shit to your sister, which is then torture to you.
Right, and like if it's the doctor inside Robin's body, as like we've been guessing,
Don't think so.
But or it could just be Robin. Either characterization, I don't understand their motives still. We don't know for sure who they are or why they're doing anything at all.
Well, it could have been that Robin was only hanging around this kid to get close to his sister, which he had a weird, creepy thing about this whole time. But since we saw it through the memory flashback of the kid himself, he just thought he had a friendship with this older guy. And it turns out he's just been a piece of shit this whole time, which is all I can see from this. Because all the depth of everything that we've started the episode talking about seems to have completely gone away for another rape scene.
Well, at the very least, we're getting close to the end.
We are. This is penultimate.
Yeah, penultimate. We should at least get our answers about heaven. 4 of the kids just walked outside, and honestly, they're probably just going to keep walking.
Oh god, I hope so. I hope we get more heaven and less rape scene. I hope we just pick up with this. Because we know our boy ain't going to save her. Or him. Our boy ain't going to save him. Sorry. The way that I'm distinguishing the characters right now is they call one of them our boy and the other one him. Just to be less descriptive and save time. Although I've wasted all this time talking about the descriptive. Anyway. Our boy is back at home or the hotel or whatever the thing that they're using to stay in with the gun. So, and we know that's a long distance from there because we had a long tracking shot of him running to get there, going to a stop, running to get there some more, and then I think there was a third running to get there bit. So, they are a distance away. He is not going to go from, hey, I'm cooking us dinner, to stop raping my friend.
Right. Maru is stuck there with no information and can only be suspicious if they don't return soon, right?
Even if they're suspicious, they're saying the point is they're nowhere within time to save. Oh, what? You can say he's going to fire the laser gun from across the distance and take a guess?
No, I was about to say Robin has already mentioned both of them, knows they're both in town, is interested in capturing both of them. He's sending people out to get Maru.
So you're saying we're just going to get a bad ending? Just a bad ending altogether?
We could just get an absolutely tragic, terrible ending. Everyone dies, nobody's happy.
Are you saying that maybe Maru's twin is inside of Robin, and Maru's twin was an asshole because he got ink poisoning on the foot as a baby?
Ink poisoning?
Look, I don't know, man. This episode went from, like, mystery darkness to rape on a drop of a dime, and it's very hard to move forwards with. All I can say is either we're gonna meet Maru's twin, or it's just gonna be a Vinland Saga thing, right? As we started talking about at the very beginning of, God, Vinland Saga had less rape, and those guys were known for raping people.
And literally Vikings in England.
Jesus. Anyway, that we're just gonna be left off on not knowing if we're ever going to get a sequel, and
Mhm.
our character's stuck in this limbo of whatever we're gonna be leaving them on.
Right, we still got the MacGuffin syringe. Like, I expect that's gotta get used, right?
Except
At the
that he's
very
so
least.
far away.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Robin
We
is
got
just
24 minutes. It'll happen.
unless once again Robin is just an asshat Robin, and that
Mhm.
oh, I'm so glad I captured you both, and that Maru's gonna be cooking dinner, and then his exact twin is gonna walk into the room, and they're gonna have their own thing.
Right. Ah, gosh. Okay. Absolutely stupid. Robin transplants his brain into their body and then goes back to capture Maru with it.
Well, Robin. Well, okay, once again we follow back onto the how did you put your own brain into this person's body?
They
But
did it before.
look, man, at this point, I would assume he'd put his own brain into her body and then go back and rape Maru because I have no fucking idea what's going on anymore.
We've had our mystery box. We're slowly opening the lid. I just want answers. I just want to know.
Look, the last show that we finished, Witch from Mercury, finished on a basically everybody's happy ending,
Mhm.
right? Nobody got raped in that show. And here we are on this happy road trip adventure to, figure things out
Mhm.
and just a mystery and good God.
And now we're just going straight to hell. Let's do it.
Well, because this is going to be the second show of the last season that we finish, right?
Mhm.
We finished Witch from Mercury, that's done. This finishes. We're already going to pick up on the next show of from Witch from Mercury. So after this one finishes next week, then we pick up on the next show from the summer season.
Right.
So it's just not where I look. I may have expected this from, say, Summertime Render, right? That the very
Right.
first twist in that is, hey, my sister is holding this person they're about to kill, and then I shoot myself in the head or something. And it's like, well, that's a dark twist right from the get go. This is not started out that way. Granted, everyone's dead. People died in their own homes rather than got into the
There's
streets.
lots of subtle horror or like growing horror,
Or
like in
just
the show.
the hint of horror. Like the suicide scene, right?
Mhm.
But even then, that was two people that survived whatever happened to heaven, had just a horrible experience out in the real world, but they're still together. They still love one another. It is just a nightmare of existence, but it's not actively perpetrated upon one another.
And then he kills himself afterwards. So no, we've had darkness here the whole time, but just not this dark.
There's
Oh,
a
jeez.
difference between
There's a difference.
There's a difference between, oh my god, the girl that I grew up with, fell in love with, and decided to spend my whole life with, who I gave my eye to so they could see again, has just died. I've nothing to live for, kill myself. And, hey, my childhood friend who's now in that girl's body, I'm gonna rape him. I'm just gonna fucking rape him. Like, I'm gonna have them go clean themselves off so that they're not dirty when I rape them so they can walk down a hallway in a towel. This is not getting a monetized video, by the way. I've said the word rape too many times. Transcription.
Yeah.
So I just want that to sink in for the. I know you got it. You were here, but for the viewer, this was just go take a shower so I can rape you. By the way, don't make sure the shower's not too hot though.
So I guess the next time,
What
let's
the
go
fuck?
ahead and witness Haruko beating Robin to death. Let's go.
One can hope. Again, we know the weapon's not there. We know that our boy isn't going to be around to save him. That's too far away. You can't just he can't just appear because we spent 5 to 7 minutes
It's 5
getting
to 7
there.
minutes. Or...
Getting there. I mean,
there you go. That's gonna be the whole episode
of montage, though, of montage runnings, which means it was even longer than that.
All right. So we'll just have to go ahead and find out what happens next time. For right now, this has been Stone Face Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin. That's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?